Today, I want to talk to you about my hook and wicket system. I've had some questions about this system. It's a way to trellis your tomato plants, cucumbers, things that vine generally long or get very high. This is a great way to manage those types of plants. So this is referred to as the Hook stainless steel. You have clips. Typically, there's 2 clips per hook. And then there's a wicket. I'll show you that in a minute. And the wicket, also stainless steel, is there to support the vines as you start to have them go horizontally. The vines rest on that, allowing your tomato clusters to hang or be suspended. And then you vertically grow the rest of that vine, and you continually lower it to where it's at a nice height as far as managing the harvesting and maintenance of your plants. So you can see this one over here needs to be lowered. Lower and lean system. Now, when I first start my plants, when a crop, tomato plants are planted from seedlings, I have some string that I bury underneath my start. That is connected to this little metal piece right here that also is available. It hooks on to the bottom of the hook. There's a little knob here. It clips on and then slides down. That allows you to control the vines of the tomato plant until they reach the bottom of your hook. Let's take a closer look at the clamps. They're stainless steel also, spring loaded. This piece of looks like foam padding, if you will, is available. They do get weathered, so you can replace them. I think you purchase a sheet and they just clip right in there. There's little prongs, if you will, that hold it in place. This part here goes around your vine. Well, you can see that. And then the easiest way I found is, let me see if I can get this, is to have it like this, and then you bring your hook into place and then you release it. Now you can loosen the tension just a little bit and it will slide. And typically the way you want to utilize this is you take your lower clip, which typically will be near the bottom, you release it, whoops, and then you take your taller one, the one that's up higher, that's still hooked to tomato vine, and you lower it down. Then you take the one that came off the bottom, come around the top of your tomato vine, and put it back on the hook. Very simple to use. It takes a little bit of practice to get this on the hook, if I'm being honest. However, that's such a minor issue compared to the benefit of this. I started these plants, the seeds, in August of 2023. September 1st of 2023, my tomato plants were in the ground. Today is January 3rd, 2024. You saw some of that footage in the intro of this video of how these vines are growing, and then they're coming up. You see all the tomato growth. You see some horizontal suckers that are shooting off of the vines way back, and they're growing vertically. So it'd be interesting to see in my spring crop, or maybe in this crop, to see how tall those suckers will get and what impact it's going to have on my tomato plants. So these were purchased from Neversink Farm Tools. Connor has a no-till market garden farm in upstate New York, It's on the Neversink River. You ought to check out his videos, his tools. Great instructional information for anyone learning. That's how I learned about this system. And they're not cheap. However, the reason for this review is it worth the investment? 100%. I'm not a sponsor. I don't get paid. I don't get paid for my YouTube videos. I'm trying to keep this channel honest. So when I do a review of something, again, this is what I'm using. There's a lot of different ways to trellis your tomato plants. I've utilized a lot of those techniques. This is just what I'm using today. Please do what's right for you. But if you're curious about what I'm using right now, the Hook and Wicket system, it's working out great. I could see this lasting a lifetime other than changing that foam. All right, now let's take a look at a wicket. This looks like a good wicket to talk about. Check out that sucker right there. There's more. Here's more. All right, back on track here. The wicket, it's a 3-piece system component. You have your main stake. It has loops down at the bottom, and then you come up to the top piece. So basically this top piece slides into the top of this side extension, just slips right in. So they'll stow away nicely if you don't need them. This wicket is designed to go across a standard market garden bed, which would be 30 inches. Well-made product. This is the most expensive part. So the way that Neversink Tools has it set up, you can buy your hooks and clips separately and then go back at a later date and purchase your wickets, which is what I initially was going to do. But once I made my purchase, I figured I'm going to get it all, and I'm glad I did. I'm getting distracted on how well the celery plants are doing here interplanted, and I do have some beets there. Sorry about that. Anyway, there you go. This is the other component for the hook and wicket system. This is the wicket part. You guys have any questions, comments, leave them below, if you will. Let me give you some final thoughts. Well, there you go. There's a look, review, some thoughts on the hook and wicket system that I'm utilizing for my tomato plant and soon to be cucumber plant vine management. And the reason why I went to this system is my spring crop of 2023, I had cucumber plants that had cucumbers growing over 8 feet, almost 10 feet tall. I could not get my ladder in the width of this aisle. It's not wide enough. And my plants were too close, and I had too many suckers, which I said I wouldn't be doing. In the way, I couldn't put a ladder there. So I had to step up and get a better system that allows me to continually lower them and bring them across those wickets, as you just saw. What else can I tell you about this? Oh, in my spring crop of 2024, I'm going to stick to a single vine coming off my tomato plants. You know already that on most of my vines, I've let 3 with a main stem and then 2 suckers. So it's really congested here. I've found my airflow isn't as good as it should be, which is causing some of that powdery mildew, which I talked about in, I think, 2 videos ago. So again, I need to just make it to where there's better airflow, makes for healthier plants, and the management of lowering and leaning is going to be much easier. Today in my crop, which is my fall crop of 2023, I've got to lower 3 vines at once and then move them. It's just not efficient. But again, as I said in a prior video, I was getting greedy because I figured I'd have a much shorter growing window in zone 9B here, where I'd be dealing with some hard frost issues. So anyway, I hope this video finds everyone well. Again, I'm going to encourage you guys, start growing something in the spring of 2024. So that means you need to start thinking about seeds, the selection, starting those so you'll have some nice starts, seedlings, to go in the ground, whether it's in a pot or in a raised bed. So I'll see you guys really soon. Next video, I believe I'm going to do some of my thoughts on my Farmer's Friend Gothic Pro greenhouse. All right, we'll see you soon. As the vines are growing horizontally, check out the vertical growth of these suckers.